Hello, so today I'm going to do a tutorial on my little faux fro I got going on right now. I've been natural since January. My hair is at this awkward length of, teeny weeny afro and not being able to do much with it, but I can pick up my hair enough to braid. In which case, if there's enough length to pick up the braid, then I can sew a track onto it. So my hair is nice and braided and protected underneath. I didn't want to use any glues and things like that because even when my hair was relaxed, I didn't like that. I mean, how ironic with all the damage you do to your hair while it's actually relaxed. I didn't like the glue because I thought it was doing damage. Excuse me. I have a cold, sorry. Let's see. What I started out doing was I washed my hair and I blow dried it out. I have a moisturizer that I like a lot. This right here. It is the olive oil and mango butter by QP, and I really like their products. I wash my hair with their shampoo and conditioner, and sometimes when I want to get my edges, I use their glaze. And this stuff smells freaking phenomenal. So I love it. And then I put like a heat protectant on there. I'm not really particular about what heat protectant I use, but I put that in my hair and I just blow dry it out. So then after I blow dry my hair, I then section off. I leave space on the edges, mostly because my hair is still growing, and because it is a protective style, I don't want to braid too tight or have too much breakage at my edges. So I leave that out, and it gives a little bit of versatility when it comes to pinning up your style. You might want to put up a side or wear a headband and things like that, and it's just a little bit easier to do and conceal your tracks if you have some out on the edge. Sometimes I'm just not in the mood to have my edges out, and that's also a-okay. And then I leave space in the middle to conceal the tracks in my hair, but as you'll see later on, I did narrow that. A good rule of thumb for me, the longer the hair, the more hair you can leave out, and the shorter the hair, the more tracks you need so that it can be covered. I got a little ambitious when I started doing my tracks, and I left a pretty good margin out in the middle. When I came back later on, I decided that since I was doing a side part, the side where it was deeper on had enough hair, but the more hair in the middle wasn't really working and didn't really conceal my tracks the way that I wanted it to. And it didn't look too natural to me. So I did braid up some more rows to add more tracks to be able to conceal better. After I section off, then I start to cornrow. And there's really no, I wouldn't say like method to the madness. Whatever braiding pattern works better for you. Sorry. Whatever braiding pattern works better for you. When I do other people's tracks, I like to do the circle braid. Especially doing full closures, I like to do the circle braid because I can see what I'm doing. For me, I make it easier on myself when it comes to doing my own tracks, and I just cornrow straight down. I'm really anal about my parts, which is kind of hard to do when you can't see the back of your head. But either way, some people don't like to do the cornrows straight back, and I can understand that because it's harder to get grease or oil in between it, because basically you have a grid pattern, cornrows going down and tracks going up. It makes it a little bit harder to moisturize and grease your scalp while you do have it in. Me cornrowing it back is just because it's simple for me to do. Yeah. So after I cornrow all of my braids back, I go from right to left. You don't necessarily have to do it right to left, but I go right to left and I braid the ends of all the cornrows. Then I braid the rest of the synthetic hair down and burn it. I would definitely suggest using synthetic hair for your base that you braid. It preserves your style. Your natural hair may have a tendency to slip or get loose, and that kind of just binds things together a little bit better. When it comes to burning the ends, I pretty much know where my hair is, so I don't have a problem with that. But you need to be really cautious because you can end up burning your own hair, which would totally contradict doing this as a protective style if you're just going to damage it more. After I burn the edge, I use that burnt piece and stick it to the side of the last cornrow, and because of the burnt fibers, it has a tendency to stick or hold like Velcro for a little bit, which gives me enough time to be able to sew up that cornrow to the end of the braid. After I'm done doing that, I grab another moisturizer, the 3-in-1 botanical oil, and I douse my whole head down with that. I have a photo shoot coming up, so I did my cornrow, I did my style due to this shoot coming up, but I don't have intentions of keeping the style in for long. Even still, I still douse my head with this oil. If you intend on keeping your tracks in for longer, you may definitely want to do that. You just can't get in there and moisturize as well as you need to when you have the tracks in. So I take the time to make sure I'm all oiled up beforehand. After that, then I begin the sewing process. It's really simple. Just start at the base and go up. Sometimes when I do my tracks, the edges that I left out, I will braid up, because then I can tack the end of that track to that cornrow on the edge. This time I chose not to do that. I really don't have any method to the madness or anything complicated when it comes to sewing the tracks. I just sew as I choose. The benefit of doing the cornrows back and not across is that you can designate how thick or thin you want your cornrows. If you do the cornrows across, you kind of have set where each track should lay. For me, I like big hair, so I can put my tracks as close together as I like. For other people, big hair may not be your thing, and you can make a bigger gap in between your tracks. I like the versatility when it comes to that. If not, then you're doubling over tracks and trying to sew. Either way, whatever you find easier. The thing that I will say is that when I begin to sew my tracks, I will thread up multiple C needles. So I can just sew, and when one needle is done, put it down, pick up another needle, and I start sewing again. It just cuts out confusion and makes things go faster. You don't have to spend the time threading up this needle again, worrying about the knots and things like that. So that usually helps me. After I am done sewing up my whole head, I will then twist up my hair so that it blends in really well with the hair, the tracks that I bought. Then I leave that overnight. What I do when I twist up my hair, I will take my mango butter again and saturate a row, twist up my hair, and leave it for the night. What I'll do is I'll tie it down though. When I have my little afro out, it's okay for me to have some volume and for them to be sticking up. But when I want them to blend into the faux fro, I need to tie it down. So in the morning, if I so choose, I can gel them, or if it already looks neat enough, I can just let them lay flat. And that's about it. I'm keeping my hair relatively neat until my shoot in like 3 or 4 days, and when that day comes, then I'll finger rake them through or find a wide tooth comb to rake it through and give me more volume and make it look more like a fro as opposed to spiral curls. And I'll have some pictures up and a review of the hair later on. I hope this is helpful.